Hey guys, what's up? Lewin here at GarageBand and Beyond. Today we're going to be talking producers, okay? We're going to be talking about how to be your own producer, if you're looking for a producer, what to look for, and, you know, if you're just trying to, or if you're just curious, like, what does a producer do? This video will sort of cover a lot of that. I should also start out by saying that my areas of expertise as far as a producer goes is anything pretty much between hard rock and really easy folk music. You know what I mean? I think that's a pretty wide range. It includes a lot of styles of music. So that's sort of where I'm coming from. But the things I'm going to talk about are definitely going to be applicable to all styles of music. Okay. So pretty much let's talk about the very first thing that I do when I'm producing a song for somebody. And I've done this a lot. I've produced albums and songs and all sorts of stuff. But the very first thing that I look for, or listen to rather, is the melody. Okay. What I'm listening for in a melody is it any good, right? Do I like it? Number one. If I don't like it, what's wrong with it? You know? So it's also really good to go back and look at people from the past that have been extremely successful songwriters. And Paul McCartney is a great person to look at, obviously, for that. He's been a very successful musician over his lifetime. But what really melody, you know, what makes a good melody is dynamics, right? Are there loud parts? Are there soft parts? Does the melody repeat itself? Are there, you know, musical actions or musical phrases rather that repeat themselves throughout the song? You know, it's important to understand that the human brain is on a constant mission of looking for patterns, right? So if you are writing a melody, it's important to keep that in mind, because the more you repeat, the more it gets in people's minds. It gets stuck in your ear. You know how that happens with a good song that you love, right? So the melody being strong is really important. And that repetition of musical phrases is something it might sound really oversimplistic, but it's really, really important for a good melody to have a hook. You know what I mean? And the hook typically is a part that repeats. So that's just something to keep in mind. And again, you know, this is all very subjective. So when you're looking for a producer, listen to what they've done in the past and see if it's even the kind of music that you like. Because if it's not, then it's not the guy you want to work with. You want somebody that works in a style that you like and love and enjoy. And that way you can trust the producer to have good opinions. Because that's basically all a producer is a guy that you hire, an extra member that you hire part-time into your musical project that has good taste and uses their good taste to mold your music. Okay. So melody, number one, probably the most important thing, arguably the most important thing in any song is the melody. Okay. Second thing is lyrical content of that melody. Now, this is pretty difficult thing to talk about because I've worked with a lot of producers. Some producers really love to get in there and change lyrics or make you rewrite lyrics altogether. And some just sit back and let you run with it. Okay. Now, I'm the kind of producer that if I hear a line or if I hear a word or something, places that could be maybe focused on a little more inside of the lyrics, you know, so don't choose the first easiest metaphor that you can. Maybe sit there and write out a few options for that one word, like I've been waiting for your fill in the blank, you know, and then you could have 10 different options for that or something. Work with the lyrics until they really, you know, make sense, because I do hear a lot of music like from beginning to end. It's like, I think that song had like 5 or 10 messages in it, and I wish maybe there was just 1 or 2. You know what I mean? So don't overcomplicate your lyrics. Try to make sure that they make sense, at least to you. And don't worry too much about what people are going to interpret, because it's pretty much impossible to predict what people will, you know, think your music is about, because everybody has their own personal experiences. La, 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 la. Now, lyric content, you know, that's really important. So just keep in mind, good lyrics, really, really important. Now, the third thing that I look at when I'm producing a song is fundamentally important, because it's the rhythm section. Okay. So we're talking, the drums, we're talking bass guitar, and if you have a rhythm guitar part or a piano part, anything that's working rhythmically to create that foundation for the rest of the music, all needs to be working together, especially in those styles that I'm talking about, right? So rock and pop and folk and heavy rock, all those sorts of things. Now, there's also the debate, right? It's should you have your kick drum and your bass part lining up exactly right? Or is it okay for the bass part to sort of noodle around while sort of syncopating in and out of the drum track or whatever it may be, right? So that's sort of up to you. That's up to your player. If there's a great bass line that they've come up with, then stick with it. Maybe the kick drum might need a little adjusting here or there, like just to work with that bass part, and the guitar parts or any other rhythm instruments. They just need to sound locked in and properly arranged. You know what I mean? So if you're a producer and you're looking at a band, or if you're sitting there and you've recorded a bunch of parts and you're like, gosh, why is the acoustic guitar doing that and the bass is doing that, or the hi-hat and the snare is here, but the acoustic guitar is doing something that doesn't relate to it. Those are the kinds of like really simple problems that I hear a lot with songs that I'm producing. It's just that there's not a lot of, the instruments don't always agree. And that's something that I really stress is important, that the rhythm section is locked down tight, right? Got to be tight and right, or else it just sort of sounds like, amateurish, I think. So rhythm section, bass line, syncopation. Oh, hi-hat too. One of the easiest things you can do is switch the hi-hat from 8th notes to 16th notes. And that's just like a really small and very specific recommendation, but it is one of those easy things you can do if you're looking for a simple way to lift a part. As far as its energy goes, if there's a hi-hat part that's maybe dragging, think about switching it over to 16th notes. That's just a little easy tip there. All right, now, number 4, arrangement. Arrangement is fundamentally important as well. A good arrangement is going to make or break, or a bad one, will really hurt your song if it's not a good arrangement. If it's too long or certain sections just like, whatever. A good arrangement is important. So what I'm talking about literally is, if you have verse, chorus, bridge, verse, chorus, right? So we can talk in terms of like A, B, C, A, B, right? So it's important if you're sitting there and you're trying to produce your song and you're doing this for the first time, especially, it's good to literally sit there, write it out in blocks, So, okay, here's section A, and then we go to section B, then we go back to section A, back to section B, then we go into the bridge, which would be section C, and look at that, and then try to mentally conceive, like, what if we moved this over here? What if, what if the bridge just came earlier instead of 2/3 of the way through the song, like everybody else's song? That's also the fun thing about tearing an arrangement down to its block format, is that you can sort of play with it. You can move it here and there. And GarageBand makes that really easy if you use the arrangement channel. But that's a really good thing to do, is to sit there and try to, rearrange the song if sections of it feel long, or you wish that you were getting to the chorus faster. There's that whole "don't bore us, get to the chorus" saying, it's an important thing to know, though. That's like one of those like pop mantras, I think. It's true. If you think of that like Aerosmith song "Love in an Elevator," I don't know anybody that actually knows the verse. Everybody just thinks about the chorus. So that's a good song to remember, because that's a humongously famous song. But the arrangement is, I think that's probably one of the more fun areas to play with. Now, within the arrangement conversation, we'll call it, topic number 5 here, but it's dynamics overall inside that arrangement, okay? I can't stress enough how important dynamics are in a song, okay? You hear the term stress and release a lot in music, right? So if you're bringing a song and a section to a head where it's like nice and like chaotic, and you've reached a peak in that, then it's really a good idea to drop it down to the exact opposite. Sometimes a lot of people just use like bass and voice or drums and voice, and suddenly like the reverb goes away on that voice and it becomes really dry. Something to separate that section from the rest of the song. It doesn't necessarily have to be the bridge. It could be a verse. It could be a chorus that's been broken down. whole point, though, is that, the song should go up and it should go down in dynamics. And this isn't, for every single song, of course, but if you have an opportunity to take advantage of dynamics, take it and make them dramatic, okay? Those are the moments that people end up loving. And then when you come back in, or when the rest of the band comes back in, you have that sense of release. And it's like, oh, that's so awesome that they all came back in. And that, the breakdown moment was great. And that's a trick I use a lot with Sunshine Superman. It's a very standard thing, but very, very fun and very, it's a powerful thing, Now, a couple of things that I wanted to also add to this is just like tricks, really easy arrangement tricks that you can do to your song if you're trying to find a way to make it, maybe longer or cooler or whatever. And one of the things I was going to say is that third verse dynamics, right? Low dynamic. And then you come into, say, the last chorus. The double chorus at the end, or the double chorus in general. You can put a double chorus anywhere you want, but the double chorus at the end of a song is a great way to just have a great outro, right? You're going to repeat it. Your melodies got a hook in it because it has a repetitious section. And you've already gone through a dynamic, a lower dynamic maybe, hopefully, and then you're getting to the grand finale, right? So the grand finale, a double chorus is a really easy way to make a grand finale. And yeah, I just think that's one of those easy things you can do. So that's it. A double chorus. I think that was pretty much it. Dynamics and double chorus. Think about those things. Those are easy tricks to throw in and play around with in your song. Now, and again, if you're looking for a producer, listen to what they've created in the past. Talk to the bands that they've worked with, Some guys are really hands-on and want to affect every single note. Other producers are sort of laid back and just sort of properly comprehend what a band is doing, what their creative mission is as artists, and just takes that and nurtures it in a very sort of non-invasive way. Now, I'm the kind of producer that's somewhere in the middle, right? I love I really do make a serious effort to comprehend the artist's vision for the song, but then I look for ways to, shape it into something a little bit more coherent. So I will look at lyrics. I will look at the arrangement, all these things. I'm sort of a hands-on producer, but I also tend to let musicians just do what they do because the creative process is so unpredictable that it's better to just let it roll sometimes. Even if you're getting more tracks than you need sometimes, it's good to have them in the mix stage because then you can, you have stuff to choose from. You know what I'm talking about? So that's it, you guys. I think if you have any questions, obviously leave them below in the comments section, and I'm here answering them all day. On the Facebook page, we're over there talking all the time. Twitter, I'm trying to be better about that. And, let's talk about this thing. And if you guys have questions or comments or anything, let's talk about it. I welcome all of that. I think that's it for now. You guys, always, thank you so much for your support. If you're one of my patrons on Patreon, really extra thanks for you guys because you're going the extra little mile there for me, and I really appreciate it. And that's it. Everybody have a great day, and I will talk to you soon later.